Hello everyone! I look exactly the same as the previous video because I just filmed it. Should I change my top? Should I at least make an effort to pretend? There we go. So this is gonna be a little pregnancy update and a chit chat and a gender reveal. I'll tell you how we found out first because it was actually a really cool, exciting way of doing it. We had a scan and we told the lady doing the scan we didn't want to know right now, so if she could tell us to look away when she did that bit and then write it down secretly and tell my mum. My mum was going to be the first and only person to know other than the ultrasound lady. So we did, and when she went digging around down there, me and Alex just looked into each other's eyes and the whole scan was amazing and magical. I just love seeing baby wriggling about, moving their arms, they were touching their little face. Even though she told us to turn our heads when she was actually looking down there, I was pretty sure I saw a willy. And I'm not a professional, so I wasn't like, it's definitely a boy, but I did always have this feeling that it was a boy. My birthday was about 4 days after this scan, so my mum arranged to have a birthday cake made for me with either blue or pink in the middle. And I chose for the outside a rainbow design. They are literally a little rainbow of possibilities. And the cake looked really, really cool. We went out for a meal with our family and friends, and then for dessert, we brought out the cake, and here is us cutting the cake. Me cutting the cake. Terribly at first. I'm going to cut out all the beginning of me fumbling around with it.
Happy birthday to you.
It's not butter, I told you.
Oh god. We're having a little girl. Alex was over the moon. Neither of us have any preference, but Alex in particular, he'd really loved the idea of having a daughter. Now we know what name we're going with, and it's really cool to be able to like talk to them using their name. We both really struggled with boys' names, whereas the girls' names we found quite easy. But I still am keeping an open mind. Maybe I'll go to the next scan and she'll be a boy. And I wouldn't mind either way, but we would have to have another discussion about names. So I am 19 weeks pregnant right now, 19 weeks and like 2 days. The biggest and most exciting new thing for me is feeling baby move. So I started feeling her move at 16 weeks and it was very, very light, like little bubbles. It really is kind of like flutters or bubbles. That's how they often describe it when you read about it. And at first I wasn't sure if that's what I was feeling, but looking back now, it definitely was. And it was gradually sort of increasing and I was much more able to pinpoint it. And then about 4 days ago, boom, movements through the roof. It's actually not been that intense again since, but about 4 days ago, I thought she was gonna jump out of my stomach. Like it was so intense. It was actually a bit scary. I'd been really looking forward to feeling her. I couldn't wait. But then when it was just bam, like very intense, very quickly, it was quite scary. And I was actually Googling things because I was concerned about the fact that it was so sudden and so strong all of a sudden compared to what it had been before. And I was Googling like, could she be in distress? Could something be wrong? A lot of people have asked me, what does it feel like? And I always wondered that, and that was something that I couldn't wait to find out. What does it actually feel like to have a little baby wriggling around in you? It changes a lot. There's different types of feelings. So there'll be little, like when I was filming a video a minute ago, I could tell she was moving around, but she wasn't really active. I always worried whenever I saw advice about keeping an eye on baby's movements and reporting less movement and when you should be worried and things like that. And I always thought, like, how am I gonna know? How am I gonna know baby's schedule so well? I'm gonna know. Because I didn't know how obvious it would be and how good I would be at keeping track of that. I already feel like I know her schedule somewhat and I'm aware of it when it changes. Last night was the first night that Alex felt her move through my tummy. The first night I felt her move on the outside as well. She was doing some big movements and I just thought, hang on a minute, let me check. And I just sort of laid down and put my hand on my tummy, and immediately I felt this big kick. And it was so amazing, and I was sort of freaking out because I just felt my baby on the outside for the first time, and also calling for Alex to come over really quickly. And he come over and put his hand on my tummy, and pretty quickly he felt it too. And if I could bottle a moment forever to relive, like Dumbledore style, that moment was just so, it's just so special. I have a significant bump now. I've gained a good amount of weight. Some of that is baby, some of it is chocolate. I'm trying to get better at laying off the sugar, but I've been getting such little joy from food lately. And the one thing I still really enjoy is chocolate and sweets. I'm trying to just stick to one thing after dinner as my dessert. That's what I have most days. But there may have been a day when I bought a box of vegan chocolate honeycomb without Alex knowing, and it was all gone by the time he came home. A strange symptom that I had between about 14 and 16 weeks, it was actually quite weird. It was happening quite a lot. I was getting these phantom smells. So everything had smelt bad for ages, but then I started smelling things that weren't there. We went to Alex's brother's house. We all sat there sort of chatting, and all of a sudden I just had this overwhelming smell of beans. Baked beans, and I was like, have you got some beans somewhere? He didn't, but beans were in the air for me. Sometimes I think it was my brain mis-smelling things, so I'd smell something and sort of diagnose it as the wrong smell. I think that happened quite a few times, but I would be like so convinced that that's what the smell was. A ghost smell. That was interesting. I've been getting a lot of outbreaks of spots around my chin. They're not spots that... Baby's moving. Hello. I developed the line as well. I've got the little line. I can't remember what it's called. It's very faint at the minute, but it is there from my belly button down. I can see the dark line developing. There are a couple of little things I forgot to mention when I was filming the previous bit. I'm 20 weeks now. I'm not going to make a whole nother video for 20 weeks, but new things have happened, so I thought I'd just include them in here. I noticed my stomach is getting hairier, and at first I didn't know if it was just because I was looking at my stomach more and my tummy was getting bigger, so I was just seeing my tummy more. But no, I'm pretty sure my hair is just getting a bit thicker and a bit darker. It's not like crazy noticeable, no one else would notice other than me, but I've picked up on it and I looked it up, and it is a thing, a pregnancy thing. Heartburn has begun for me. I thought that that was something that would develop a bit later on, but it started for me now around 20 weeks. It's not really bad, but it is happening fairly often, and it will happen at the slightest little like sip of a fizzy drink or something. I think my belly has popped the most between 19 and 20 weeks. I first started properly seeing a bump around 16 weeks. I feel like it was noticeable to other people for the first time around 18, 19 weeks, and now very noticeable. And naturally, because my bump has popped, I've now run into like awkward situations of people wanting to see my bump or touch my bump. On the one hand, I love it and I do want to kind of show people, but there's still sometimes when it's just like out of the blue and it's not people asking, it's people saying, let me, like, give me your belly. And when they put it like that and it's just sprung on me, I feel like defensive and awkward. It obviously depends so much on the person and on you. Like with Alex, I would love for him to sit and feel my bump all day. But everyone else, I'm a little bit guarded still. I didn't know how I was gonna feel until I got to this point, and I do feel quite uncomfortable about it, but I feel, it's daft, but I feel like mean at the same time, like I should be letting people touch me, which is not true. Like if you're not comfortable with it. Through my clothes, maybe at certain points when she's kicking, when she's bigger, maybe then I would feel like I might ask certain people, like invite them to come feel her if she's kicking, but I don't want to be put on the spot and told to get my stomach out. Not a lot of people, this is not like a massive issue that's keeping me up at night, just something I noticed and wasn't really prepared for, I guess. That's the end of my 20-week thoughts. I'll hand you back over to other me. Ooh, She's moving again. She's really moving now. Just gonna try and feel her really quick because she's proper kicking about. I can feel that like she's building up to a big one. The wiggles have intensified. Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go probably just lay down on the bed, feel my belly for a minute because it's still very exciting and new for me and I'm not bored of it yet. I'm loving everything about being pregnant at the minute, even, you know, the bits that where I've felt sick and it's been a bit of a struggle. It's not been entirely pleasant, but overall I'm just very, very happy and grateful and can't wait for more. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye.